Alright, today I'm going to look at my front brake calipers and get the pads back in. And one thing I want to just talk about while rebuilding these calipers is these pins. I've spoke to a couple of people over the last couple of months, whether they're new riders, someone who's bought a second-hand bike, and they start having trouble with their brakes and they can't work out why. They've got new pads, they've bled their brakes, but the one thing they don't do is change this pin. Now these are the pins for my brake calipers that I've just took out, and while you can't see any evidence of grooves coming into them, the coating that protects them has completely worn off. And once that protective coating goes, even though they're hardened steel, they're not hardened against the elements. They'll corrode just like normal steel. It will be slightly different, I think, but they'll still corrode, and then your brake pads are going to start binding up on them. So it's a really important thing to change. And it's not like you can grease them or oil them, because the last place you want grease and oil is right above your pads. You can get stainless steel ones. I've never used them, but I know you can get them. Some people sell titanium ones, and as far as I know, you should never use titanium pins in your brakes. Like, titanium is a brilliant material, but brake pins is just the wrong application for it. And a really bad thing to do is getting a wire wheel and wire wheeling them all the way down to a shiny metal and then sticking them in, because you'll have taken the coating completely off, and then it's just going to make things even worse. These pins, like, every time I change my brake pads, I change those pins. I change the R-clips as well every single time. I mean, that's not going to stop your brakes binding up. I just do it because they're cheap, and why not? I'm redoing the pads, so I might as well do all the consumables with it at the same time. And that's the way to look at, like, brake pad pins and R-clips, is they're consumables. They're supposed to be replaced. They don't need to last forever. They just need to last the length of your brake pads. And then if you do them all at the same time, you ain't going to get a nasty surprise at a later date. Like, even if your brakes don't bind up, you've still got to change your pads at some point. So having a pin that's stuck in your aluminium caliper and having to knock the pin out, you're just opening your chances for, like, fucking your calipers up, and then you're just wasting money. If it does start binding up over the time, then you might find that your pads are worn funny, they could start seizing on, and you start getting drag, which then your brake discs are going to start getting really hot all the time, and then potentially you're going to need a new brake disc. Like, there's so many problems that can be caused by one little pin in your brake that so many people just overlook. So if you've got a bike and it's got a bit of a dodgy brake, or you're new to doing, like, little bits on your bike yourself, and, like, you're thinking about doing your brakes, hopefully this helped you. Like I say, I've met a few people this year that have had these problems, and they asked me what I thought the problem was, and I could see it within about 5 seconds of looking at their brakes. So, yeah, hope this helps. A little bit of advice from an idiot. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy these calipers are back together and ready to go back on the bike, which is the next job I'm doing in my build series. Hope you enjoyed it. Take it easy. Catch you in a bit.